Alright, welcome back to the plains of Sudbury for my second game of Midgard Heroic Battles. I made some tactical and rules errors in the last one. Got some help from the community and the author. Thank you very much. Looking to redeem myself with this one to get a more accurate and hopefully enjoyable game of this, battle with this wonderful set of rules. Really enjoyed it, even though I screwed a couple things up, but it wasn't too bad. But hoping to correct those and have just a cleaner game. In our last battle, the forces of Aurelia invaded into Sudbury. We're able to push them out. Wow, and starting to get some traction now. So we've got 3 provinces have fallen in a row. The Aurelians first took back Bournemouth. Now they've conquered the Tymordan territory of Walden, and now conquered the Tymordan territory of Sudbury. Yeah, they can cut them off from Osmana. We're in business here. To preempt that, we're going to have forces from Hampstead, Tymordan army kind of massed in the borders there, moving into Sudbury and trying to basically get the Aurelians out of this province prior to them kind of digging in. The major focus of this battle will be this supply wagon up here, which just kind of symbolizes Aurelians moving in supplies into the area, moving in some settlers, after they've executed all the Tymordans. No, just kind of taking over their houses after they left. It's a kindler and nicer war here compared to usual. And so the Aurelians will be trying to capture this kind of walled village up on top of this plateau. These little suckers, these little obelisks, when I do Oathmark, I kind of bought these 3D prints, so I bought those on Etsy. I've got 2 of them. So we'll use them more in Oathmark games, but I just thought I'd just throw them out there because I got them all flocked up and painted up and looking fun for the whole family. I think I always add new troops before I have any battle. It's like I can't have a battle with the same armies. I got to work on that. So that's a problem with me, but that's okay. I love painting, so it's fun to knock these guys out. This week I was able to knock out 60 goblins, and here they all are. I've also kind of touched up this unit here of orcs and kind of put a more Tymordan spin on things. Got one unit of goblins here with kind of swords and axes and maces. You know the orcs. You've got another unit of orcs with spear, and then we've got some goblins with I hope I said goblins, I can't remember if I did or not, and then a unit of goblin with bows. And I've got a 4th commander out for each side here. These gentlemen all have the agile special rule. Gonna kind of play them like the Aurelians don't know they're here. They're going to move their way through the forest. The agile rule allows you to basically move through this kind of territory without any effect. So it'll be kind of fun, and they'll sneak attack into here. I'm going to try to trick myself as much as possible. So if anyone can pull it off, it's me. The Aurelians have no clue they're over here. The background for this battle is the Aurelians have moved basically 2 small forces onto the plains ahead of this fortified depot, whatever you want to say, village, and the Aurelians have kind of sallied forth to the wall to defend it. Half of the Tymordan force is peeled off to the right to cut off a reinforcement column that's coming from another outpost. I don't even know what direction we're talking here. It could be from the west for all I know. Maybe east. We'll figure it out later. But they basically put a blocking force up over here to their right to stop the Aurelians who are coming in to try to prevent this depot from falling. Per usual, I haven't play tested any of this. I've just kind of guessed what would be a good game. These guys are all pretty close together, so they'll be able to move pretty quickly to get into hand-to-hand. The Tymordans definitely doing a blocking and screening type tactic. These gentlemen will be doing the same thing, kind of defending, trying to hold off and against this main force down here. And unbeknownst to the Aurelian defenders, we're going to have orcs and goblins coming through the woods, hoping to get more out of the orcs. They were a big dud last turn, so I'm hoping they can do some epic slaughter this time. Morgrith Deathbringer is back with his legendary weapon after winning the last battle for the Aurelians. Unfortunately for the Tymordans, their commander, Hugh de Slaughter, was completely cut down and mutilated in the last battle. So he's been replaced by Magnus Eruptus with his legendary weapon, Fang. And that'll be he'll be filling in as the overall army commander for the Tymordans. Overall, for this battle, the total reputation for the Tymordans is going to be 59. They're going to have slightly more than the Aurelians. They're going to have 15 reputation tokens in their bags, while the forces of Aurelia are going to have 57 in theirs, with also 15 reputation tokens. So it should be a pretty good fight. I have no idea about the balancing and the spacing and everything else. I hope I've got it right. It really will depend on how fast these troops can move through the woods. The goblins, I kind of did them how they would be in my mind, made them brittle. We'll see if they're any good, and if they're completely terrible, I'll tweak their stats for the next game. But yeah, it should be fun. The big thing for me is to get the orcs into the battle here and let them have a good old time. Alright, that's it. We're on a 15 by 7 foot table as usual. Most of these miniatures are from either Perry Miniatures or Fireforged Miniatures, or now I'm getting a growing lot of Oathmark miniatures too, so I got to mention them. And I've got a couple 3D printed guys out here, but those are the big three. And yeah, hope you enjoy. The Tymordans will be going first because they're the aggressor. And I've got some new things added to the battlefield. You know, of course, we had hills before. Now we've got more trees that are going to be playing a part. We've got some stone fences. I've got some buildings out here. And yeah, let's see what happens. Hold on to your butts. Turn one coming at you. Just so I don't get confused, we'll go with the normal. We'll say that's north. You know, of course, everyone else can figure out the rest of the compass points. So we'll start down at the north end of the battlefield with Ryan Runehammer. We have 4 level 3 commanders for each side. So he is leading the orcs and goblins. They're going to attempt to do 2 moves, moving forward through the trees. No negatives because they are agile. And I have remembered to mark all the commanders with their 3 mighty deeds. I really wanted to introduce spellcasters, but I feel like I want to earn that. I screwed up a couple rules, and I feel like I need to play a cleaner game before I can, you know, reward myself with moving on to more advanced rules. So we're not there yet. That might seem weird, but that's just kind of how my thought process works. But we'll start down here at the north end of the battlefield as we stroll down the battlefield. I've marked every single one of these units with a dice, and we'll see who passes their command test to do the second move. The orcs and the archer goblins both failed, so they're going to use 2 mighty deeds. I don't think we're not going to see any combat over here for a minute, so he's going to try to use those 2 and have them pass. They move into the woods, moving 10 inches. Each one of my spear throws is 5 inches because that's the frontage of my units, just as a reminder. And yeah, there we go. And if I haven't said it recently, I am thrilled I multi-based my guys again. I did have all these dudes singularly based, and but that's when I was playing smaller scale stuff. Now that it's moving into the ridiculous, it was time to evolve. So very thrilled about that decision. As we move over to the center, command of the mercenary knights and some of the provincial forces, along with the royal crossbowmen and archers, assaulting the town up on the, or the village up on the hill, is Byron Hammerfast. He survived the last battle. Looking for 2 moves. Basically wants to get in there and get engaged as quickly as possible to hopefully before his entire right flank collapses. None of his troops are drilled, so he's got them all marked with a die, excuse me, and we'll see who can pass their second move. A mercenary knight unit, his crossbowmen, his archers all didn't pass, so he's going to spend all 3 of his mighty deeds to move forward. Oh, they made it 10 inches forward. Oh, just to the bottom of the hill, looking up at the Eurylians lining the stone wall there, waiting to chop them up. Never mind that they got all their archers and crossbowmen back there behind them. Might be a bit of a controversial move, but the Tymordans on the right are going to hold their ground and wait for the Eurylians. Oh, boring but smarter than I hope it is at least. Tymordan archers and crossbowmen are about 2 inches out of range. They chuck it out there. I think they're 4 spear throws. They can really throw it. Yes, they can go 4 spear throws, which is 20 inches. So about 22 inches away there. But they'll be shooting soon enough. The Goblin bows over here on the left are only 3 spear throws. They're a little bit shorter, 15 inches. And then if you have like a siege weapon or a catapult or a ballista or a trebuchet, you're talking 5 spear throws. Also, the giants can all throw rocks and trees and spears, 4 spear throws. So that's pretty awesome. All right, starting over here on the Eurylian right of their southern front, the relief column. Michael Infernus back for battle number 2, level 3 leader still. He's in charge of 2 cavalry groups. He's going to order, or actually 3, excuse me, going to order them all forward 2 moves. They all successfully move forward 20 inches. They haven't quite made contact yet, but these light cavalry are going to have a clean bow shot at those gentlemen. They'll get some, at least get some missile shots at the end of their move. Sliding over to the left, it's our new level 3 leader on the battlefield, Torm Firebrand. Going to try to move his boys forward 2 moves, see what he can do. He's got Grom under his command. You know how well he plays with others. Let's see how they do. His light infantry do not pass, so he's going to burn a mighty deed and see what they can do with them. Galen Shattersword on the far left. Going to go for 2 moves. The pikemen will automatically get to move 2, so I'm going to take those dice away. Just going to roll for the Immortals, the Berserkers, and the Osmanian Nomads. Very successful movement over here as they close in. We're going to get some missile shooting in a minute. The Eurylians guarding the elevated village are not going to do anything. They're just going to wait. But so we'll go on to the shooting part of this turn 1. Start over with these mounted light cavalry. These mounted light riders, they have horse bows. Their target is those royal footmen. They're outside of their killing zone, so these guys usually have a shoot of 4. Goes down to a shoot of 2. They have marksmen, so it goes back up to 3. So they're going to get 3 shots, needing 5s and 6s. So this is where I screwed up. Well, one of the screw-ups I did last time. These guys have an armor of 3. They take 1 hit. It doesn't matter. They're going to take a command check for taking 1 hit. It's at the end of the turn. This guy's in range. He's going to burn one of his mighty deeds to have them re-roll that. It's one of the fallback. Oh yes, Magnus Eruptus says no, none shall pass. He goes ahead and uses his will to keep those royal footmen online. keeping his defenses intact. They passed the command check, so they are good. They take no damage. Grom says screw it. He's going to shoot a missile basically at these gentlemen. I think he's towering so he can see over the top of these gentlemen, so he might have to pay the half penalty for that, but he's going to have to pay the half penalty for them being out of his killing zone. So he's going to get 3 dice, needing 5s or 6s on those light infantry, throwing a telephone pole at them. They don't even know what the hell that is. It's not been invented yet, but here it comes. Incoming! They only have an armor of 2. Those 2 hits will cause 1 stamina damage to those gentlemen. Now they'll take a command check, try to avoid becoming buckled. They will be too far away to get a mighty deed from their leader. They fail that check and fall back half a spear throw. Alright, and that ends turn 1. Alright, not so bad. Got a couple things right already that I got wrong in the last game, so yippee skippy. Okay, we'll see you in turn 2. There's no other shooting to be done. And that's it. Alright, we have restored all the mighty deeds. We're ready to start turn 2. I guess technically we've already started turn 2 because we restored the mighty deeds. It's like the chicken and the egg kind of thing. Alright, let's start down here with the trek through the woods. What can the orcs and goblins do on their advance in secrecy against the Aurelian village fort? All of the contingents are marked with a die. They're going to go for 2 moves, going through the woods. Let's see what Ryan Runehammer can do, getting his inhuman troops to march towards their destination. The orcs are kind of creeped out. They think it's some kind of haunted forest. They're kind of not wanting to move deeper into the woods, but we're going to use a mighty deed to try to turn that frown upside down. Oh, Ryan breaks out the motivation club, gets those boys moving. They're going to go forward 10 inches. Alright, the freak show making their way through the woods. They're about halfway through there, which we'll see if it works out well. They still got a bit to go. I probably should have measured how far they had to go, because these games are only usually 6 turns, so maybe I'll get lucky. I just thought I would just throw some troops on the table and have a good time, but got to have these guys in combat. I'm going to extend if they don't reach their destination by turn 6. With the main Tymordan assault, Byron Hammerfast approaches the walls to do battle. Alright, he's going to try to get 2 moves out of all of his people. I'm going to mark them all because nobody's drilled, and we'll see what happens. His longbowmen fail to be motivated. They're liking their chances attacking up a hill against a fortified position. But they doesn't care. He's going to spend a mighty deed to get them more motivated. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's getting pretty. A human wave assault into the teeth of this Aurelian defense. Oh, I love it. They're going to get some archers and crossbowmen. They're going to start launching here at the end of this movement phase. But, yeah. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let's get going here in a minute. Let's go to the far right. I think the Tymordans are going to chill. No, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to go crazy and charge over here. For the glory of the Empire, Magnus Eruptus is going to charge into the cavalry, which is always a great idea. They are going to countercharge. And, yeah, that should be brutal. He is going to basically just go in with his royal mounted knights against these, foot knights against these royal mounted knights, and then bring these 2 gentlemen along for supports. But that's going to be the focal point of his engagement. It's just against them. He's not going to charge these other guys. So you're going to have first charge of the battle, a leader charging into battle, and yeah. So he might get 2, possibly 3 reputation coins out of this one just for being an absolute awesomeness. And these Royal Knights are going to see if they can get a counter charge in. They also have a leader with them, so don't pass it. There will be a Mighty Deed chucked in to get a charge bonus as well. So both sides are going to get tagged with the charging token. So they're both going to hit on ones, re-rolling ones, sorry, as they clash. Both leaders going in. Let's see how many reputation points what's-his-name gets out of this one. Magnus picks up 3 reputation coins with this freaking insane a charge. Alright, that's great. Turn 2, we're already into the slaughter fest. Still got more units to move for the Tymordans. I think their cavalry is going to advance on the right. The horses are all going to advance 1. The giant's going to try to advance 2 and basically ignore anybody if he doesn't pass. Alright, the cavalry on the right of the Tymordan line advances. We've got ourselves a pretty epic clash going on in here. Wow. Alright, the battle has begun. Alright, these crossbowmen and these longbowmen are going to fire at these Royal Foot Knights. Not trying to do casualties, trying to put arrows into the attached leader and forcing these guys to retreat, making it a little bit easier for the other troops to take this wall. Alright, got some big time modifiers here. Both of these units have 8 shots. They're in range. It's not in their killing zone, so they half it down to 4. They're firing overhead, so they half it to 2. Oh my gosh, and they're firing into cover, so they half it to 1. So each unit will have 1 shot. What is that? Eminem song. I'll give you have 1 shot. I'm just kidding. And if they get a 5 or 6, we get basically a hit. Then we can take break tests and possible hits to the leader. So I'll roll them at the same time, a blue dice and a red die, and we'll go from there. All those modifiers, just too much to overcome for the Tymordan missile troops. They do not make contact with the defenders of that first line of wall. Alright, so let's pivot to another missile combat. These javelin troops are over 1 spear throw, so they cannot throw. Oh yeah, they might be giants. He's gonna rip that tree out of the ground next to him and just launch it at these pikemen, trying to mess them up. Let's see what happens there. Ulak has 5 shooting die. He is out of his killing range, so it drops down to 3, but that's it. So he's gonna throw chuck 3 dice at these Kaldani northern pikemen. The tree goes sailing into nowhere, misses thankfully for the Kaldani. They're excited about that. They're like, oh gosh, they thought they had long sticks and this guy's throwing trees at them. That's not nice. And then these mounted light riders are going to fire their bows at the Osmanian nomads, trying to get them to go back to the desert where they belong. I don't think so. They're out of the killing zone. I can't remember how many dice there are. 1 second. Normally have 4 shots, dropping down to 2. Let's see what happens. Oh, and these guys have a better armor against missiles, I forgot. So they're up to 3 against missile troops. These gentlemen did not attend the Doug Carmichael School of Marksmanship as they launched their arrows into the nowhere zone. No damage to those Osmanian nomads. All right, I've marked all 4 of those units with a shot die, or marker, so don't have to worry about that. I think I'm going to return fire with these archers into one of these frontline units, try to break them up a little bit. Yeah, both of these units are shooting out of their kill zone, overhead fire, into this unit of provincial knights with the leader attached. I think it'll be 2 shots each after you get done with all those modifiers. Let me double check that. Yes, they go down from 8 to 4 for out of their kill zone and down to 2 because of overhead fire. So I'll roll all 4 of those at once. Holy shnikes, Batman. They still count as 2 separate volleys, so they don't add together to form, to actually take a stamina hit off. So 2 hits each, total of 4 hits from 2 separate attacks. No armor hits, but they're going to have to take 2 what's it call it? 2 command checks to see if they flee, and then they'll also have to take 2 chances for the leader of being hit. Alright, they passed both of their checks. Now with 2 shots, it's going to be 1d6. We'll roll 2 separate ones of those to see if the leader's hit. And they passed the Raven dice with no effect. So that was actually good shooting by those guys. No effect, but still kept them on their toes. Mark them with shot markers, and we're good to go over here. Over on the southern end of the battlefield, these mounted light riders with bows are going to fire at these gentlemen here. Let me check. They might just be outside of the killing zone. I don't have to measure that. I know they are. So they'll roll 2 dice because they're out of that killing zone and see if they have any effect on those royal footmen. 2 hits on those gentlemen. They have an armor of 3. Now they have to take a break test to see if they're able to stand their ground. They're able to hang in there. Outstanding. They're able to support their brethren as they charge into those mounted knights. The rest of the Aurelian troops are going to hold off missile attacks, so that'll move into the hand-to-hand, which is this disaster right here. Wholesome! Let's get to chopping. Both Magnus and Michael are going to toss in 1 mighty deed to add to this one. We do have a... what's the weapon called? I'm losing my mind. A legendary weapon. Fang is being unsheathed to try to slice somebody in half in this battle. And then the rest of it's just going to be tons of chopping. The Royal Knights are undamaged so far, and they have Spears of Tribute, so they're going to get +2, I believe, for that. And that'll get them up to 14 dice. Aurelian Royal Knights have Thunderous Charge, so they're going to be hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s with their 12 attacks. I got to check both leaders. They both probably got some Insano stuff themselves, plus their 1 additional attack. Michael Infernus has Brutal, so all 4 of his attacks will be hitting on 4s, so that's savage. And Maximus Eruptus, I gotta see what he's got besides his legendary weapon. He has Today We Fight. Not worth using that yet. Well, maybe if he gets slaughtered, but I'm gonna hold off on using that before this conflict. Oh, here we go. Alright, here come the Tymordans, re-rolling all the ones they get. See how they do? They're able to score 8 hits. The legendary weapon misses. Fang does not bring home the bacon. No ones to re-roll. Alright, here come the Aurelian Heavy Cavalry. They score 9 hits, and they have 4 ones to re-roll. Oh boy, these leaders are going to be checking with their life insurance agent here in a minute. Alright, 10 hits for them. Both sides have, we'll get 4 supporting die from their 2 supports each. Let's see if they can erase some of these hits. Tymordans hit a home run, erasing 4 of the hits from the Aurelian Cavalry. Here come the Aurelian supports, see if they're just as good. It'll end up being a draw. Both sides take 6 casualties. I gotta check the armor. I think they both have armor of 4. It'll be a draw, so nobody will get the winning tab. Both sides, both leaders, sorry, the units take 6 hits. So they'll have to roll 2 Raven dice each to see if they take any hits. They both get popped, so they'll both roll a mighty deed and suffer a reputation coin loss to avoid the hit. Alright, after losing a reputation coin each, they stay locked in combat, and that fighting will continue momentarily. For Aurelian movement, the light cavalry are going to advance forward to get these guys in the kill box, but not engage in hand-to-hand. Oh, they've already... Did they shoot? Hang on. Yeah, they've already shot. I forgot to mark them. They're not going to go anywhere. There's no advantage to moving closer right now. I changed my mind and edged them forward just in case. Don't want to regret that later. Sometimes my first ideas are decent ideas. Sometimes they're not. I don't know. All right, over here, this mass will attempt to move forward and get closer to these gentlemen. All right, I've marked them with the appropriate dice. We're going to see if they can pass a command test to advance. Those troops advance under the command of Torm Firebrand towards their Tymordan foes. Not quite in range to do hand-to-hand, but getting darn close. Oh yeah, big boy's gonna throw a telephone pole at somebody. I'm gonna mark these last, the Osmanians, Berserkers of Odinheim, and the Immortals of Shubia with a die to see if they'll pass a command test. The pikemen have no casualties and they are drilled, so they'll do 2 moves automatically. The pikemen both lead they lead 2 attacks against the 2 separate knight units, the heavy riders, the provincial knights on the right and the royal knights on the left. Are going up against the southern and northern Kaldani pikemen, respectively. Pikemen units are supported by the Immortals of Shubia and the Berserkers of Odinheim. The Osmanian nomads did not get a second move, but they're in range to support the northern Kaldani pikemen without having to re-roll. So that commander will save his, or that hero will save his mighty deeds for the combat, which is awesome. So then we'll get a +1 reputation as a hero leads his unit to charge against another a unit plus another hero too. So it's going to be another awesomeness over here of human beings crashing against each other. Pikes against cavalry. The cavalry is going to try to countercharge, but I think that might get negated by the pike roll, but they're still going to roll for it. Both heavy rider contingents successfully countercharge against pike units. I don't know if that means anything. I'm going to read the pike roll real quick and be right back with you. It's an awesome hand-to-hand over here. After reading the pike's roll, the cavalry can countercharge against that, so they'll be re-rolling their 1s, but the pikes get an extra 2 saves per unit automatically when they're fighting towering units, flying units, or mounted units. So that's... oh, that'll work. We've already shot over here. None of those Aurelian units are going to move, so we'll just go to the northern side of the battlefield, or southern side of the battlefield, excuse me, to continue the hand-to-hand mega slaughter. I'm going to start over here with the continued hand-to-hand. Both leaders are not going to add in a mighty deed. They've only got 1 left each. There's no buddies winning, so no one's re-rolling 1s. And the Spears as tribute is gone for the Tymordans. They're back down to 12 dice. These gentlemen are still hitting on... oh, they're not charging anymore. So they're not hitting on 4, 5s, and 6 anymore. Just 5s and 6s. But their commander, their hero, is brutal, so he's rolling on 4, 5s, and 6s. Alright, here come the Tymordans, hitting on 5s and 6s. A legendary weapon is in effect. And that's it. Tymordans get 4 regular hits, plus Fang draws blood. Ah, oh, brutal legendary weapon. It's going to wipe out an entire stamina no matter what. Alright, here come the Aurelian Knights with their commander. They're only able to score 4 hits themselves. Tymordan supports will try to block 4 hits. They accomplish nothing. The Aurelians trying to block some hits. They need to block 1 to tie this up again. Holy cow, they block 3. which is amazing. All right, so now we've got a Mighty Deed's going to chop the Aurelians down to a stamina point. They're going to go down to, they're going to have 2 now, which leaving them 1 left, which they have to take a check on that, I believe. These gentlemen will take 4 hits, losing a stamina down to 2. They have they'll have 4, so they're okay. They don't take a check there, but they are going to lose and be pushed back half a spear throw. These Royal Mounted Knights are down to 1 stamina, but they didn't lose, so they don't take a command test. We'll do one Raven dice for this commander, and 1 and 2 for over here because they took 4 hits. Neither of those heroes was hit. Nobody charged through or had to retreat through any other units, so no more checks. The Tymordans are pushed back half a spear throw, and Aurelians are debating about follow-up, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm not going to follow up. I forgot to throw Grom's telephone pole at these gentlemen, these light infantry. So he's going to do 2 dice against them because they're out of the killing box. He scores 1 hit, which doesn't affect stamina at all, but they'll have to take a command check to see if they are able to hold their ground. Which they do. Alright, that's good. Alright, that's it. Over here, no other hand-to-hand. We'll just roll out to the Kaldani Northern Pikemen against the Provincial Mounted Riders. The Riders were able to countercharge, so both sides are charging. These guys have Thunderous Charge. They're hitting on 4, 5, and 6 with their 10 attacks. They're able to score 4 hits. They got 1-1. They're going to re-roll that now. Alright, they score 4 hits. The pikemen are going to get 12 attacks, hitting on 5s and 6s, re-rolling 1s. Alright, they also score 4 hits. They have 2 1s to re-roll, trying to get 5s and 6s. Alright, they're able to score a 5th hit. The knights are supported by the giant, so he'll get 2 supports from that. They're able to get rid of 1 of those hits. The pikes will get 2 for being pikes, and 2 supports from the immortals for a total of 4 supports, trying to eradicate some of these hits from the heavy riders. Pikemen will win. They'll cause a casualty, a stamina loss on the heavy riders, pushing them back half a spear throw. The pikes will follow up. That'll negate the chance for the riders countercharging. The pikemen will keep the winning tab, and they'll fight some more in the next turn. They also push back the giant, and the immortals also followed up with the pikemen. Alright, time to switch over to this side. It's going to be a mess. We've got 2 heroes involved in this. This should be a blast. Both William de Gore and Galen Shattersword will both throw in a Mighty Deed. William de Gore is brutal, so he's going to be hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s like the rest of his unit. And we'll just see what happens. They're going to be getting 10 attacks plus his 4, all hitting on 4s. Re-rolling 1s. Tymordan Cavalry totally screwed up. They rolled all the 2s and 3s. They get 2 hits, but they do have 2 1s to re-roll, but I don't know if they're going to recover from that. They do end up getting 4 hits out of it, which isn't horrible. Tymordans, well, I don't know, they left the door open. Aurelians are going to get 16 attacks. Ouch. And re-rolling 1s. The Southern Kaldani Pikemen score 6 hits. They get 4 1s, which they're re-rolling, and we'll do that. For the glory of Aurelia, 9 hits. Holy cow. Tymordans will get 2 supports from that light riders. They're able to get 1 hit erased. Now here comes the The Kaldani pikemen have 4 supports plus 2 from being pikes, so 6 dice in support. The Kaldani pikemen are able to do 8 hits to the Tymordan Royal Knights. 2 casualties, knocking them down to a stamina of 1. They'll have to take a command test to see if they even stay on the battlefield. 8 hits is going to translate to so many risks to heroes over here. We get 3 hits on the Kaldani. They'll take a 1 stamina loss, and they'll have a risk to hero with 1 die, I believe. And the Royal Horsemen get pushed back half a spear length. The Eurilians follow up, and then they'll also get the advance tab, whatever. Sorry, the winning token. Sorry about that. Had a moment there. And their supports also advance forward, keeping in contact with the retreating Tymordans. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but this commander here, the hero leading forward the Eurilian pikemen, gains 1 reputation token for leading a charge. So that's the pickup, one of the ones they lost earlier in the turn. If I forgot to mention in my previous battle, this quick reference sheet at the end of the rulebook is pretty phenomenal. So far so good, been very handy dandy. The only thing I've had trouble with are remembering some of the traits and stuff, and then of course going back and refreshing myself with rules, but they do have an index and a table of contents, which makes that a lot easier. So William de Gore will roll 2 Raven dice, while the Eurilian commander will roll 1 to see if they are hit. They both have 2 reputation left. Wow, that was some crappy rolling. Both heroes will spend a mighty deed to re-roll that, losing a reputation token too. With many thanks to the Sun God and his intervention, both heroes are able to not be wounded. They're down to 1 mighty deed for the turn, but the turn is over as turn 2 comes to an end and we head into turn 3, and the Eurilians start to hear some movement through the woods, getting a little nervous. They don't know what it is. Alright, the mighty deeds have been returned. We are ready for turn 3. You got the rule book in the middle of the battlefield. I'm just kidding. Alright, let's start down there with the goblins and orcs. Moving forward through the woods. Ryan Runehammer whipping them, trying to get him to go. He's got to get up to here. I guess bad feeling that I put too far away on a 6-game turn. I should have measured it, so that's okay. Can't change it now. Goblin unit on the far right, refusing to move forward. He's going to go ahead and use a mighty deed to whip him. In the words of the immortal rock group Devo, whip it good, whip it real good. Let's go forward 10 inches, baby. I don't know, maybe it'll work out okay. I'm having some doubts just because I didn't pre-measure it, but that'd be kind of lame to pre-measure it. So, I don't know. Let's hope it works out. So they are climbing the hill, and they could get there. It's gonna be like turn 5 or turn 6. This might be a 7-turn match. Even if the rest of the Tymordans are all dead, the orcs are gonna bloody their axes this game no matter what. They're gonna fight somebody. I don't care if they have to fight the goblins. They're fighting somebody. Well, I can start seeing them from the trees now. It's kind of cool. Here come the freak show up the hill. Alright, I forgot to remove the shot tokens. They're gone now. The center troops, they're going to rush forward to the wall to engage the Eurilians just in time to distract them from the goblins coming bursting through the woods to the right. Crossbowmen failed their order. Going to break out a mighty deed. Going to have them keep up. Oh yeah, baby, the attack has begun. Mercenary knights on the left are going to engage the royal spearmen here. Then you're going to get the hero attached to the provincial knights attacking the royal knights here. That leader will be attached. I got to move him down. Just it logistically didn't get him there. Then we've got like a double whammy out here as we got more mercenary knights attacking these royal footmen. We'll get a secondary attacker, which I've never done before, so I think they contribute half. They will fight against these gentlemen. And then we've got supports, probably going to support hard on the right and support here, but these guys will get to shoot as well. But I don't know, it depends if they can reach that far, but they'll have to shoot all the way to there because you can't engage stuff. It's in hand-to-hand. And hopefully I got that right. I think we're good. All right, that's what we got going on in that mess. Over here, these provincial footmen, heavy footmen, went in against the other provincial heavy footmen. The light infantry did not have to move. They're close enough to support. So they're going to stay right there. So now we'll have continuing hand-to-hand, continuing hand-to-hand, new hand-to-hand. These guys will charge these guys. And, ooh, I think I've got to do something over here. These guys are going to throw caution to the wind. They're going to charge into these gentlemen who only have one stamina left. These guys are going to try to pass an order and counter charge, and someone's going to die. And all these other guys will support. I forgot, these guys have 2 casualties. They have to make a command check, but they're drilled. So it'll be 1 dice to make 1 move, so they're automatically past it, so that's good. And the rest of these dudes will support them. So we're in business. I thought I messed up, but I accidentally didn't. So just to explain the drilled, and hopefully I get this right. If you have to roll 1 command dice, you automatically pass that. If you have to roll a second, you have to pass that. So when units have no casualties, they can move 1 move with no command check. They're fine. And the second move, they have to dice for it. So that would, if you were drilled, you'd get that automatic second move. When you have more than 1 casualty, you have to roll every time. They only need 1 move to get this attack off, so they automatically pass the first one. If they have to make a second move, they'd have to roll for that. So that's a brief explanation of drilled. And then we'll get the big supports here. The counter charge goes in. It's going to be an absolute mess across the entire front. I've gone ahead and marked the Tymordan Royal Archers and Royal Crossbowmen. They are with the shot. They're both going to fire on that crossbow unit there. They have 8 shots. Their firing overhead goes to 4. Their firing out of their kill zone goes to 2. They're firing over into a unit that's protected by a wall. They'll get 1 shot each. So against those guys. So they miss completely. I'm going to go ahead and knock out the Aurelians while we're sitting here. They're going to combo fire on the archers. They're firing out of their kill zone and overhead. So they're going to they have 2 shots each against those gentlemen. The archers on the right were in fuego. They beat the brakes off those gentlemen. 2 hits. They have an armor of 2, so they do 1 stamina damage on it. These guys will have to take 1 rally check to see, or morale check to see if they stick around or fall back half a spear throw. Alright, they passed that. Let's go on. Let's find other missile troops here. Alright, these Tymordan light infantry have javelins. They're 5 inches exactly away from these provincial Aurelian knights. We're going to go ahead and throw on them. And yeah, there'll be no modifier. They'll do a wonderful job here. And I think right after they get done, heck yeah, Big Dog is going to throw a tree at them. So, javelins are nice compared to getting a tree thrown at you. 5 javelins at armor, well, this might be 3 or 4. That's armor 4. These boys are provincial knights. They hit with 1 javelin, so that's will be a morale check, no stamina damage, and we'll get a raven dice for the commander, or the hero getting hit. Here was the white dice, got a 2 on that, and the unit rolled a 5, so they passed their checks. We're good to go. We'll move on down the line. It's time to get a tree thrown at you. Never a bad time to do that. Ulak is in range, but but he's out of his kill zone, so he's going to roll 3 dice. Great dice rolling. 3 hits. Unfortunately, 1 through 3 is 1 Raven dice, and these guys have armor 4 for no stamina damage. So we'll get a repeat of that last one with a break check and a risk to hero roll. Torm Firebrand hit with a telephone pole. He's going to go ahead and spend a heroic deed, mighty deed, excuse me. Lose a reputation token immediately, and try to keep himself from getting obliterated. He does the Matrix, has to pull one of his own guys in front of him who gets decapitated. That's causes some dismay with the other troops. They're like, look at that guy, what a butthead. Took his buddy out to save himself. Not a good look for Torm. He's got to work on his get his PR people out there. Maybe he can recover later on in the battle. And then at the far right of the Tymordan line, light cavalry pull their bows out. They're in the kill box. 4 shots at the Osmanian nomads, who go up to an armor 3 versus missile fire. Thankfully, their armor increases with that dice roll with missile shooting. No casualties, but they will take a break check. They boot it. Galen Shattersword right there. He's not having any of that. He's going to spend a mighty deed and try to keep him in place to get supports. Alright, massive success. Alright, now the Osmanian nomads. They're going to throw down at those mounted light cavalry, excuse me. Had a moment there. I have a few of those lately. And see what they can do. They're in their killing box. They're throwing javelins at them. They're horking 6 dice. Let's go for it, baby. We will rock you, baby. They nail them with 4 of the good ones. They have an armor of 3. They take 1 stamina damage. Now they have to take a break check to see if they can withstand this kind of firepower. They punt. William de Gore needs that support for his knights. They're about to be in hand-to-hand again with the pikemen. So he's going to spend a mighty deed and see if he can keep him in it. That investment pays off as they're able to keep it together. We'll slide over to Hill Giant. He's going to throw a giant spear at the light infantry, unimpeded but out of his kill zone, so at half firepower, it'll be 3 dice. Grom, going to put some stank on this one, see if he can just put someone right through a wall. Grom loves it. Gets 1 hit. They're going to have to take a break test, see if they can take that kind of firepower. The light infantry were too far away from a mighty deed. They fall back into the trees. They do not have agile, so that could be. Now they have 1 casualty from before, so that could be a lot of fun for them to find their way out of those woods. They are no longer supporting these provincial footmen. Ulak does not know how to spell too many big words, but he knows how to say mission accomplished. He drives back the reinforcements. Now it makes it a little bit easier for his troops to defeat these footmen. And then the final missile troops will be the Aurelian light riders out here with bows. Going to fire. I remember shots. I think they get 4 shots. I can't remember, but they're in the killing zone, so they're going to blast them. 4 shots, and I forgot they're marksmen. I think I've forgotten marksmen a couple times, and I apologize. So they'll roll 5 shots. Good luck. I forgot a lot of these guys are all marksmen too. All right, got to pay attention to that. It can't be a perfect game, because that's never going to happen. But I'm happy with so far that I haven't screwed up too badly. Please let me know, of course, if I have. I'll take all the help I can get. They almost had no hits. That last 6 kind of flipped over at the end. I was like, oh yeah, baby. All right, so they get 1 hit, 1 effective stamina, but they have to take a break check. And that's crucial. Their commander's got to pay a mighty deed now to keep them from leaving and losing a support in this hand-to-hand against the Royal Knights. So, boom, he's down to 2 now. Let's see if they can pass. I don't think he can afford to lose another Mighty Deed. He's going to let him go. They're going to retreat out of support range. Oh, that's huge. Man. That's the tactical decisions you got to make in this game. Do you spend all your Mighty Deeds to keep the supports there? And then you're leaving your army general, who's, if he gets killed, is worth 5 reputation points. It's like, oh, it's a total collapse of the entire army. Okay, they're gonna. That's not good. And I'm sorry, that's probably the understatement of a year. Okay, so that's the end of the shooting phase. We're going into melee now. I think we're gonna start over here. This sounds like a lot of fun. Start on the far left and work our way back to the south. We've got mercenary knights attacking royal footmen who are behind the wall, and I need to read the rules on what for hand-to-hand behind a wall. Alright, these mercenary knights, they have steadfast and spears as tribute. 12 attacks against these royal Aurelian footmen who are defending a wall and are defending uphill for 2 extra supports. So that's kind of nice. Nobody's supporting these footmen, so yay. But they're going to get 14 attacks against the Aurelians' 12. And I guess these guys are charging, so they're hitting the re-rolling ones. Yeah, that's true. It's funny sometimes when you roll dice, your eyes focus on the 6s quickly, and you think you've had a good dice toss. Then you actually look at what you rolled, and you're like, oh, that sucked. 2 hits and 3 1s, and all the 2s and 3s in the world. And that about sums it up. 3 1s on their. These guys are probably being overpaid, in my opinion. Well, this is like Battle of the Suck. Aurelians get 1 hit themselves. Alright, 4 support dice for the Aurelians because of the hill and the barrier they're defending. The wall and the hill do their job. The mercenary knights get 0 hits. They take 1 hit themselves, no stamina loss, and they are pushed back half a spear throw. And that was pathetic. Alright, Byron Hammerfast leads a charge. Not only as a leader leading a charge, he'll get a what's it called? Reputation token for that. He also charges against Mordrith, the army leader, with his legendary weapon. Oh, what's it called? Deathbringer? He's going to crush some skulls. So we're going to pick up 2 reputation tokens for the Tymordans, which is awesome, as they go in hand-to-hand combat against the Royal Knights. And we got Provincial Knights against them, so pretty closely matched forces. Let's see what goes on here. Got some more coins in the purse going jing-a-ling-a-ling. Alright, that's good, thanks. Alright, here comes the fight. Both sides have spears as tribute, and let's see how brutal everything gets after that. Byron's gonna throw... He's already spent 1 Mighty Deed to get to the wall. He's going to spend 1 more on this attack. And his boys have spears as tribute and 1 support. We're rolling 16 dice, hitting on 5s and 6s, re-rolling 1s. And that's how you take care of business. The Tymordan Provincial Knights get 8 hits. 5 1s they're going to re-roll right now. Mordrith coming big here. Going to bring in 2 Mighty Deeds. He's got Doombringer. So they're going to get... And he's got Spears of Tribute with his Knights. So they're going to roll 14. He's going to throw in 4 regular dice. He's brutal too. And he's going to bring Doombringer in with the legendary weapon. Aurelians are able to tie it up with 9 hits themselves. Doombringer crushes somebody into the next universe. He is killed and his family dies back home. It's hit him so hard. It's terrible. Alright, supports. The Tymordans have 2 dice from the longbowmen. They are able to stave off one of the hits from the Aurelian Knights. They can't stop Doombringer though. He just crushes the shield like a tin can. Alright, 4 supports for the Aurelians thanks to the wall and the hill. The Tymordans lose by 1. They're pushed back half a spear throw. They take 2 casualties. They had 7 hits. They have an armor of 4. So only 1 guy, but then Deathbringer absolutely destroys another person. So they have their stand was cut down to 2. Tymordans, the Aurelians, excuse me, end up taking 1 casualty, 1 stamina loss. They'll hold the wall, and they will not follow up. So that's that. Oh, we have a risk to hero now with all those hits. Both of those heroes got to roll 3d6 because the number of hits they took to see if they get any 1s. Also, these archers have to take a check because they are pushed back when the knights retreat into them. The archers keep it together. Now we'll do the risk to hero checks for both of these psychopaths. Byron takes a wound. He's going to spend his last mighty deed to try to shake it off. So Byron takes the double threat. He spends a mighty deed. He's down to none. He costs himself a reputation coin for being a coward, trying to pull one of his own adjutants in front of him, and then he doesn't even work, and he trips on his stance sword anyway and takes a wound. So he's a level 2 leader now with his first wound, and we lose another reputation coin. The sun god giveth, and the sun god taketh away. Sorry about that, brother. Alright, now, final attack on the wall. We've got a primary and a secondary attacker. Primary attacker will be these mercenary knights against the royal footmen. These guys will be a secondary attacker, and then we'll get a support. These cool kids have spears as tribute, so they're going to get 14 dice. They're going to get 6 more from these, so that's going to be a whole lot of dice going against these gentlemen. Hitting on 5s and 6s, re-rolling 1s. They get 12 hits on them. They absolutely beat the brakes off them. They get 4 1s. We're going to re-roll those, see if they can get some more hits. These royal footmen are going to attack back with 12 dice, hoping to basically hit all 12 or they are hosed. They score 4 hits. The Tymordans have 2 supports from the crossbowmen. Which don't accomplish anything. Now the hill and the wall gets 4 supports for the Aurelians. Tymordans are able to achieve a breakthrough on the right here as they shove the royal footmen back. They cause 3 stamina on them. They're going to take a break check to see if they're still able to hold their ground. The mercenary knights take 1, and they advance to maintain contact with supports. They're able to keep it together. Got a winning tag on the marker on the mercenary knights as they shove their way through. Wow, what a mess. Alright, coming down here. Wow. The hand-to-hand with the Royal Foot Knights who charged, or countercharged against the Royal Foot Knights, sorry, the Royal Horse Knights charged the Royal Foot Knights from Tymordia. We've got the 2 heroes. This gentleman will pick up a mighty deed for charging. I don't know if you get... I guess if you countercharge, it's considered it, so they'll both pick up a mighty deed. Aurelians will actually get a second mighty deed because they are charging against the army general of the other team. The army general for the Tymordans is actually got down to 1 mighty deed because he lost trying to keep these guys in the battle, but couldn't achieve it. So, and they're both going to be attacking at half strength because of casualties. Michael and Furnace going to go for the killing blow and try to throw in 2 Mighty Deeds here. And he's got Brutal. His boys have Thunderous Charge. They're only going to roll 5 dice, but he's going to throw in 5 more, and they're hitting on 4s. Six hits, re-rolling 1-1. Pretty good. Now the Tymordans, they're going to roll at half strength. They're going to roll 6. Their commander is going to roll his 3 dice, one of which will be his legendary weapon, Fang. Holy cow, they completely punt. They get 1 hit. Fang misses completely. They're going to roll their 2 supports and try to wipe out all these hits. Not bad, not bad. They wiped out those 2 of those hits down to 5 hits. That'll do 1 point of damage. They'll still be here. We're going to check a break chest to see if they still survive. The Knights, if they get 1 more hit, they're dead. So they really need to hit these 4 support rolls. They take 0 hits. They're going to put another casualty onto these footmen. They're going to push them and their supports back half a spear throw. The footmen have to take a break check to see if they run, or the Knights, sorry, because they're down to 1 casualty. And then we have to roll 3 Raven dice to see if their general is wounded. He has 1 Mighty Deed left, though. In the interest of self-preservation, he rolled his Raven dice first. Now the unit, can they pass a check? Royal Knights are going to follow it up. They charge into the retreating Royal Foot Knights. They're going to keep the winning tab. They both got 1 stamina left. Both leaders have 1 Mighty Deed left. And thankfully they retreated enough to get their other support back. At least they got that for the next round of combat. In a more routine combat here, Provincial Heavy Footmen against Provincial Heavy Footmen. Both of them are rolling 12 dice. And that's it. And that's not it. The Tymordans charged in, so they're going to be re-rolling 1s. Tymordan Provincial Infantry, they score 4 hits. They get 3 1s to re-roll. Brilliants get 12 dice attacking back, but they're counting on their supports. They got lots of friends around them. These guys are all alone. All by myself. Brilliants score 5 hits themselves, but they're going to get 6 support dice because they have 3 units within the half spear throw that'll be able to hook them up with this fight. Brilliants are going to win the battle. They're both going to take 1 casualty. They're going to push the Tymordans back against that building, and they're going to sweep up to them with all their supports, and they're going to keep the winning tab for next turn. If the Aurelians could have got 1 more save from a support, they wouldn't have taken any casualties at all. No stamina damage. Alright, next up we've got the Northern Kaldani Pikemen attacking the Provincial Mounted Knights, supported by a Hill Giant, and the Kaldani are supported by the Immortals of Shubia. The Pikemen are winning, and the Knights have 1 casualty. They weren't able to countercharge because the Knights charged in, so that's actually pretty good by me. I'm very proud of myself. Pikemen are going to attack with 12, re-rolling 1s. They score 3 hits. The Knights attacking back with 10 dice, hitting on 5s and 6s. They're going to score 2 hits. Neither side has done enough to penetrate the other's armor. So that's one good thing. Now we get 2 supports for the Mounted Knights. Ulak has no effect on that hand-to-hand combat. The pikemen going up against mounted riders with the Immortals of Shuvia supporting them have 4 supports. Those are worthless saves as well. No one takes extanima damage. The pikemen are victorious. The knights will get pushed back half a spear throw, and the pikemen will follow up. Ulak will get pushed back as well, and the Immortals will tag along. Alright, the Ceruleans are slowly advancing by winning. They're pushing them back, just hopefully getting to that breakthrough point where they can try to get to their comrades as quick as possible. Alright, over here, another hand-to-hand. We've got heroes involved in this one. Both of them have spent a mighty deed each. The Ceruleans are winning. And how many casualties did the... Okay, and the Knights only have 1 stamina damage. I believe... Or is that... Yeah. No, they have 2. Oh, shoot. That's not good for them. Forgot that one's with them. So they're only attacking with 5 dice. Woo, that leader's got to get out of there. Hugh de Slaughter is going to throw in 1 mighty deed just to try to help, but he's starting to feel like this is a... this might not be the best situation. Galen will do the exact same thing. He'll throw in 1 mighty deed just to match his opponent. And that's Wilfred de Gore, I apologize. But he does have brutal. So he's going to be, his 4 dice will be hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s. Everyone else will be 5 and 6s. So it'll be 5 dice for the knights plus 4 from him. It was actually horrible dice rolling. They had 1 dice shoot out of the cup, so I can re-roll that now. Alright, they score 2 hits against the pikemen. The pikemen are attacking back with 12 dice, re-rolling 1s. Plus additional 4 dice from their hero, also hitting on 5s and 6s, re-rolling 1s. Southern Kaldani pikemen get 6 hits, they're re-rolling 3 1s. Alright, 2 supports for the Tymordan Knights. In trouble. They're able to cut it down to 4, which is great. Unfortunately, that'll remove the last point of stamina. The Knights will be destroyed. No extra casualties will bleed on to the other cavalry. We got 6 support rolls for these gentlemen. 2 from the Osmani, 2 from the Berserkers, and 2 from the Pikes. They erase all the hits. The Knights are destroyed. Wilfred de Gore has got to take 2 Raven dice to see if he's wounded in combat as that unit is destroyed. The Tymordans will lose 2 reputation points for the Knights being destroyed. The Kaldani pikemen will advance and re-engage the hero by himself. It will be the Tymordan's turn next turn, so they'll attack them with the winning token by himself. So he's going to lose another mighty deed and fall back and join the other cavalry right there to his left. So that was a 3 mighty deed swing right there against the Tymordans. Alright, now with that disaster over, we go over to the Aurelian phase. These troops are drilled. They're going to move. They're not drilled, actually. They're just going to take 1 move and move over to support here. So you can pivot in place. You have to do a command test. But then you can't attack and you can't do another move. So those gentlemen are basically, they might as well stay there and defend the wall. These guys are through. Both these units have moved up to support them with their free move. And it's just, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble here to the left as these guys continue to fight against 2. I just don't see a better way to do it. They can actually get supports from those knights too. So they can have 3 supports plus the hill on this one. So that could save them, we'll see. But the Tymordans also have the winning marker. I think Yeah. Actually, you know what? Instant reinforcements. Mordrith doesn't need to, he can rotate all he wants. He slides over and joins the hand-to-hand with the Royal Footmen who we fought with last battle. Showing the love for them. Way to go, baby. Over there will stay kind of static. Those guys will be charging there. They're going to hold their ground. Yeah, they're going to try to wipe them out. And then over here we're going to have continuing the battle, but the other Kaldani pikemen have kind of joined as a secondary, and we're going to have all these supports against against nobody. All right, we'll start out with this hand-to-hand. Oh, these guys are rolling with half their dice too. So Mordrith, he's just going for it. He's going to keep his one. He's not going to spend any mighty deeds. He's just going to try to just be there for these guys. And they've got supports from 3 different units, but they are the primary attacker rolling half their dice. These mercenary knights are uphill or downhill. They are winning, and there is a secondary force here plus a support here. So they're going to be rolling. They don't get Spears of Tribute anymore because they've got a casualty. So 12, 18 dice coming in hot, hitting on 5s and 6s, re-rolling 1s. Aurelians might have got lucky here. They only get 4 hits. They have 4 1s to re-roll though. Aurelians have 6 dice plus 3 from Mordrith, one of which is a legendary weapon, Doombringer. Alright, the Aurelians get 4 hits themselves against the 5 of the Tymordans, one of which is Doombringer, which is going to crush somebody. And now we get supports where the Tymordans will get 2. The Aurelians will get 8 supports, 3 units plus 1 from the hill. So this is a messy one. The Aurelians somehow win. They have put a stamina loss on these gentlemen here. They'll go to 2 casualties, get pushed back, half a spear throw with all these guys on the other side of the wall. They'll have to take a discipline check to see if, because they're getting pushed back, to see if they take a casualty. The footmen are destroyed in their victory. Mordrith stands alone. He won't follow up, but he'll join with, well, there's no movement. Well, he can join with a unit, can he? So, and that'll be it. So that was a weird one that I'm not sure if I got right. The footmen win, but they're destroyed. They leave. The supports were part of that winning victory, so they can advance. These guys fall back. The Royal Foot Knights advance. Mordrith joins them. They attack and pick up the winning token against these guys at the bottom of the hill now. They push them back over the wall. And then the archers and the crossbowmen moved up in support. So, bit of a mess. Makes sense to me. And then the Aurelians lose 2 reputation points for the Royal Footmen being destroyed in that attack. Alright, in the next fight, wow, what a mess that was. Magnus Eruptus against Michael Infernus. Both of these guys are beat down. They both have 1 stamina left to be attacking with half their dice. The Aurelians are winning, so they'll get to re-roll their 1s. They're not charging anymore. Both commanders are down to 1 mighty deed. So I think they're going to save those to save their booties. And we've got 2 supports for both. So we'll go ahead and do the knights first. They're going to have 5 dice plus the 3 from their commander. So 8 total. I think, yeah, Michael Infernus is brutal. So he'll be hitting on 4s, and everyone else will be re-rolling 1s because they're the winning. They do 4 hits. They got 1 to reroll. Infernus doing the lion's work, getting 2 of those hits. Then the reroll is his as well. Yeah, the Aurelian officer supplying 3 of the 5 hits. Tymordan Knights attacking back. 6 dice. 3 from the general. One of those 3 is going to be his legendary weapon. The Tymordans score 3 hits against their enemy. Now they both get 4 support saves. Oh boy. Tymordans get 1 hit. Aurelians, 4 of them go through. The Knights have an armor of 4. They are destroyed, which sucks. Leader will stand alone. With 4 hits, he's got 2 Raven dice trying to hit him, while the Aurelian commander has got 1 on him. They both take a hit. They're both going to spend their last mighty deed to try to avoid this, which will lose a reputation point for both of them. The Tymordans get split as they get pushed back around the house, which is not good. And their commander stands alone, but it is their turn next, so hopefully they can reinforce him. And oh, they're going to follow up. I forgot. And that's the way it shakes out at the end of that, with the Aurelians having the winning tab, their hero commander standing alone against those knights, and they lost 3 reputation points, while the Aurelians lose 1. All right, on to the next brutal combat. We've got the provincial heavy foot of the Aurelians attacking their counterparts from Tymordia. The Aurelians are winning. And that's about it. They both have 1 stamina loss, so there's no Spears of Tribute involved, so they both roll 12 dice. The only problem for the Tymordans is they are unsupported, and the Aurelians are supported by the universe. The Aurelians score 5 hits, and they have 2 1s to reroll. Oh wow, 7 hits with an armor of 3. 2 of that's going to be 2 stamina damage. It's going to be ugly. Tymordans attacking back with 12. That's it. Tymordans score 4 hits, but now the Aurelian supports, they have 1, 2, 3, so they have 6 dice in supports. That's what they needed. They wipe out 2 of the hits. They take no stamina damage. Your Tymordans take 2 more, taking them down to 1 stamina. They're going to take a break test as they go down to 1. And they'll fall back half a spear throw. Oh no, that unit is destroyed as they run off the battlefield in fright. 2 more reputation points lost for the Tymordans. We slide down to the next battle as Kaldani pikemen going up against provincial mounted riders or heavy riders. In trouble. We got secondary attackers coming in. Oh, bad. The Aurelian leader is going to throw in his 3. He's not going to throw an extra. Going to save 1. The Aurelians, or actually the Kaldani, are going to throw 21 dice, hitting on 5s and 6s, re-rolling 1s with more supports than you can shake a stick at. Eight hits, one to re-roll. We'll get 13 attacks back from the Tymordans against that. They're able to score 4 hits. I might take care of their supports right now because they just have the giant. So they'll get 2 supports. Nice. He saves a point of stamina for them by taking out 2 of those hits, taking them down to 6. They're going to lose either way. Now supports for the the Caldani, each pike unit gets 2, so that's 4. Then they get supports from 3 other units. Holy cow. So 6, 10 support rolls. Alright, the Caldani pushed them back. We're going to have some risk to heroes. Ulak's got to take a check because he gets pushed back by the cavalry. See if he takes a casualty. And then I gotta do all the risk to heroes things. How many hits they take? Like 5? That's 2d6 for this hero, and they have 1d6 for Raven dice for this hero. Alright, let's check on Ulak, see how he does. He doesn't like getting shoved back. He doesn't take any stamina loss, so we've got pikemen, push him back. You know, really, these poor cavalry are all by themselves over here as they start, as the berserkers of Odenheim finally are going to get involved. These guys got evade, so they're going to try to run. Plus, they get to move first too, so they're going to be long gone. You got Aurelians shoving their way through here, already destroyed a unit in here. Tymordans lost their foot knights here as the cavalry starts shoving their way through, breaking them into 2 separate parts. Gallant lead by Mordred, leading a beaten up royal footman unit that actually ended up suiciding itself to victory, driving the Tymordans that actually breached the compound out, and now has got momentum to attack downhill against them. And these Tymordans need to regather themselves to redo their attack again. And yes, here they come. I think they'll get to about here next turn for turn 4, and then hopefully be engaged by turn 5, so we get some fighting on turn 5 and turn 6 with the orcs if anyone's left. So yay, that should be good stuff. Maybe be able to do a turn 7. The reputation coins are dropping like prices at Walmart, though. Not doing so good. All right, we'll see you in turn 4. All right, welcome to turn 4. All of the mighty deeds have been restored, and the fighting begins now. Well, the moving begins now as the Tymordans continue their advance on the northern side of the battlefield, hopefully with the orcs and goblins. All right, trying to go for 2 moves. Let's do it. It's like a quiet day in this little hamlet on top of a hill. Uh-oh. Guess who's coming to dinner? Oh, Ryan Runehammer leads his inhuman forces out of the woods. The Aurelians see him off to the right. Probably take a collective dump in their shorts. Okay, now we've got an open front coming in from the right of the Aurelian line. They're in trouble. Oh! Byron Hammerfast gonna lead his boys in. These guys are no casualties. They'll make the 1 move to there. These gentlemen will be able to join them. These gentlemen will have to make a pass a command test because they have 1 stamina damage. Actually, these provincial knights had 2 stamina damage, but they passed their order. These gentlemen had 1 stamina damage, but they are drilled. They're only making 1 move, so they did not have to roll. That's an automatic pass. These guys are already engaged, so they're not going anywhere. This is a nightmare over here. Ugh. Alright, these gentlemen are going to go to the rescue and join their general, but they do have 2 stamina damage, so they've got to pass an order to make that 1 move. Oh, he needs the support. He's going to burn a mighty deed. So they come into the rescue. These guys are already engaged with the hero, so they're already got the winning advantage. But these guys just kind of get sucked into that inferior situation. That's too bad for them. These guys are gonna charge them automatically because they have no stamina damage, just to take away a support from this disaster. Try to decompress things. These guys are going to try to pass a command test and wheel and face this direction and start moving that way next turn. It takes all your moves, but they have to pass the command test. The writing's on the wall over there. They're preparing for the breakthrough it's about to happen on their from behind. I have no clue what to do with these light infantry. They're stuck in the trees. They can't turn around. Charging's probably not the best idea. They're going to take a turn and throw javelins at these guys at point blank range. So they're going to sit there. These guys are going to do the same thing. When they get attacked the next turn, they're going to use their evade move to get the heck out of dodge. And these guys are already fighting. So that's the end of movement. We'll go to shooting. We'll start over here. They're going to fire their bows. Try to break these guys. Just make them maybe get them to run away. So we're going to fire here. All right, they have 4 shooting dice. Trying to just put some hurt on these guys to they had all 4 hits. They can actually hit their armor. I think they have an armor of 4, those guys. I almost forgot. They do have marksmen, so it'll be 5d6. They score 2 hits on the Berserkers of Odinheim. They're going to take a save versus see if they don't run away. No chance of penetrating the armor, no stamina loss. Alright, those light infantry are going to throw at those provincial knights. They get 4 dice. They're kind of in the woods. The other guys are out in the open, so they get the advantage being in there. And that's it. No marksman for those guys. They score a hit. Those guys have to take a break test or flee. Also, Torm Firebrand is attached to that group, so they'll take a Raven dice. Double threat. They skate by. If that would have been an opposite dice, that would have been a failed break test, but it's alright. They pass. No issues. Who else can shoot here? I think we have some light cavalry over here somewhere, right? My fault. We're still doing Tymordans. Okay, we got their archers and crossbowmen over here. Crossbowmen here are going to launch overhead fire out of their killing zone in cover. Cuts it down, I think, to 1 again, right? Yeah, just 1 shot against these heavy foot knights. Alright, they miss. That sucks. Alright, and over here, these archers are going to blast. They're going to blast away at these archers here. I think that's a little better because they're not on the wall. So it'll be... Hang on. 2 shots against these longbowmen. They score 1 hit on those gentlemen. They have an armor of 2, so no stamina loss. We'll take a break test to stay there. Oh, they love it. Alright. So they're, oh, actually, you know what? The Goblin archers are free. They can see if I can get, I can't remember if I'm within 15 inches or not. They only shoot a 3 spear throw range. 1 second. Those gentlemen, well, they're not gentlemen. Those freak shows are 16.5 inches out, so they're not shooting this turn. Sorry about your luck. Alright, that ends Tymordan shooting. Aurelian's going to counter back at that. Alright, these archers are just going to blast at these gentlemen on the... they're on the wall, so they're going to get defense from that. But they're in the killing zone, and they're not shooting overhead. So we're going to get 4 shots. I forgot the marksman again. Dang it! Alright, and marksman. So 5 shots. Usually you're not gunning for casualties on these guys anyway. You're gunning to get them on break tests and run, which the Aurelians passed. Alright, these Tymordans, they have an armor of 4, so that doesn't penetrate, but they're going to take a break test. Oh, they tank it. Their hero's right there. he's going to go ahead and use... He only has 2 Mighty Deeds because he's wounded. So he's going to use one of his Mighty Deeds to get them to reroll that. That is absolutely terrible. As they fall back out of support range now. And this guy burned a Mighty Deed for nothing. He's down to 1. Sad face. Alright, Euralian crossbowmen. Going to blast away at these crossbowmen. Which is going to go down to 2 shots, but up to 3 with marksmanship. Alright, crossbowmen trying to pass a command check not to break. Tymordan rolling, let down the side. They fall back half a spear throw. Oh, that leaves the knights alone against the other foot knights. It's shish kebab time. These guys, the Osmanian nomads, hammering away at these light cavalry. They throw 5. They have a marksmanship. They're going to throw 6 dice, and they're in their killing field. Alright, they get 1 casualty. The Tymordans wouldn't mind failing this one. That'll back them up a little bit. I'll have to move my rule book, of course, but let's see what happens. Of course, they pass. That sucks. Oh, I forgot to throw down with the giant for the Tymordans. He's going to go ahead and cork a stick at the Immortals of Shubia. He has a shoot of 5. He's towering, so it doesn't affected by all this crud. They're out of his kill box. Goes down to 3, and that's it. After Ulak's failure, Grom does the same thing, but he's throwing into cover here as these light infantry are in the woods. So he's only going to be throwing 1 dice at these guys. Actually, it rounds up to 2. He's chucking 2 at them. Alright, another test for the Tymordans. This is one they wouldn't mind failing again to get the heck out of Dodge. Mission accomplished. They fall out of the woods back behind the next to the building. It's kind of an outstanding tactical move for them on accident. I put my rule book over here because there's a space heater right here, and it's freaking 1 degrees outside, so it's pretty dang cold down here in the basement. I think it's probably about 60 something, so woo! I'm halfway in the earth, halfway out. Oh, falling out with my dice rolling fingers. Oh. Alright, these light riders fire 5 shots at these Royal Heavy Footmen as they come running in, or Medium Footmen, excuse me. They totally labricashaw. That's it. Okay. We'll go back over to the hill and we'll start the hand-to-hand there and work our way around. Alright, Mercenary Foot Knights with their hero against some heavy footmen with spears. Now that the crossbowmen over here have been pushed out of support, we're going to let the longbowmen are going to support these spearmen. It's Ryan Roomhander. I can't remember what his name was. He is not throwing in his last Mighty Deed. He's got to save that because he's still got a whole nother combat probably to go. His knights have not been damaged, so their Spears of Tribute is still intact. They're going to roll 14 plus his 2 because he's wounded. Not too bad. They get 7 hits, 3 ones, 3 rolls. Go ahead and do those now. They pick up 2 more. That's nice. 9 hits out of that attack. That's going to make a dent. This footman will attack back with 12 dice, hitting on 5s and 6s. They're able to pull out 6 hits. The Mercenary Knights are supported by the longbowmen, so they're going to get 2 support saves. Those supports are able to erase 1 hit from the Euralians. The Euralians are going to get 6 support dice. They get 2 from the archers, 2 from the hill, 2 from the wall. The Tymordans are victorious. They breach the wall. They push the Euralian footmen back against the second set of walls. The archers from the Aurelia cross over the wall, and they're back over there. The spearmen have taken 2 casualties. The the mercenary knights have taken 1. And now we have to take, risk to hero rolls. I think it's going to be 2d6 for this guy. That's all he needs, another hole in his body. I apologize to all you Byron Hammerfast fans out there. You know, you all got t-shirts and stuff. But that's his name. Let's see what he does. He's able to hook and weave. That's great. Oh, he also picked up a reputation token because he led a charge. I forgot about that. We'll put that in the bag. Team Tymordan needed that. Get a little slim down there. All right, now in this fight, it's a continuing battle. The Aurelians have the advantage. They won the last one. They have 1 casualty. How many of the other guys have? Ooh, they have 2. So they're going to be attacking at half strength. So that sucks for them. Let's see what happens. And there's a legendary weapon in play. He's going to go for the smoke him if you got him. He's going to throw a mighty deed in. The knights are going to throw in 12 dice. They lost their spears of tribute because they have 1 stamina casualty. Morgoth's going to throw in 4, one of which is going to be what the hell is his weapon called? Deathbringer. Hell yeah, legendary weapon. Hitting on 5s and 6s. Morgoth is brutal, so he's hitting on 4 5s and 6s. And the legendary weapon will kill somebody, and the mammy. The knights are going to throw in 12 dice. They lost their spears of tribute because they have 1 stamina casualty. Morgoth's going to throw in 4, one of which is going to be what the hell is his weapon called? Deathbringer. Hell yeah, legendary weapon. Hitting on 5s and 6s. Morgoth is brutal, so he's hitting on 4 5s and 6s. And the legendary weapon will kill somebody, and the mammy. Deathbringer misses, but they get 9 hits and 2 1s to reroll. They pick up another hit there. These guys now, they just get 6 rolls. Which they do pretty good. They get 3 hits. Alright, we get 6 supports for the knights between the wall, the hill, and the crossbowmen. They eradicate that. They take 2 hits, so there'll be a risk to Mordred. He's got to do a 1d6 roll. These guys take 10 hits with an armor of 4. They take 2 stamina. They only have 2 left. They are destroyed. Goodbye, Mr. Baseball. They jump over the wall, get ready to start charging down the hill. Maybe not the brightest move in the world, but Mordred tastes blood in his mouth. He's ready to do some killing. Alright, so that's... Yeah, and... Yeah, that's what oh, I think I have to take a chance to see if he's hit. I gotta roll 1d6. Alright, coming down to this hand-to-hand. The mounted Royal Knights, they have 1... they have 1 stamina left. One stamina left. They're fighting these Royal Footmen. And we've got both... we've got a commanding general for the Tymordans down here against just a hero from the Aurelians. Let me add up all this. The Aurelians do have the advantage with the winning tags. They'll be rolling 1s. I guess they advance back into them, so they're going to get a thunderous charge out of it too. This is going to be horrible. Michael Infernus is also brutal. He's gonna go crazy. He's gonna throw in 2 mighty deeds for this. So we'll get 5 attacks from the knights, and then we'll get 5 attacks from Michael Infernus. Everything's hitting on 4s. Yeah. They score 2 6s. They score 6. They have 2 1s. I was thinking the next sentence and messed it all up. Reroll those. Maximus Eruptus in trouble. He's going to throw in no mighty deeds. He's going to need everything to try to keep himself alive. He doesn't want to go the way of his predecessor and get basically a lance shoved through his chest and then driven into this luxury condo out here in the Sudbury planes. All right, here we go, baby. They're attacking back with 6 dice, plus the 2 from Maximus and 1 from Fang, legendary weapon. They score 3 hits. They have no supports. The heavy cav has 1 support, like a 2 rolls. No help there at all. The heavy footmen are destroyed. So that'll be 2 out of the bag for reputation. He's going to get pushed back again, and they'll probably follow up and charge him again. We've got 2 risks to heroes. I think we've got 3 dice on Maximus Eruptus, and then Michael Infernus has 1 dice against him. Oh no, Michael got cocky. He gets a wound, and he's got to use his last mighty deed to try to shake it off. He's able to shake it off, but it does cost him a reputation coin. Tymordans lose 2 more reputation points for that unit being destroyed. He retreats. They follow up, maintain contact with the winning token. About at the walls of the, about in support range. Wow. Alright, next fight. These guys stand alone. Provincial Royal Knights against Royal Medium Footmen. I'm going to see if the Knights get a counter charge. Alright, so they pull off Thunderous Charge and their counter charge. So they're going to have 10 dice hitting on 4s. The footmen are going to have 12 dice hitting on 5s and 6s. Both sides will be re-rolling 1s. The Mounted Knights roll 6 on their initial attack. They have 3 1s to re-roll, looking for 4s. The Mounted Knights roll 6 on their initial attack. They have 3 1s to re-roll, looking for 4s. They pick up another one and get 8 hits. Oh, crazy style. Alright, these gentlemen attacking back with 12. That's it. Nothing exciting. They just get re-roll 1s. Well, that straight up sucked. They got 1 hit with 2 1s. The footmen take 2 stamina loss. The knights take nothing. The footmen fall back. The knights follow up and charge into them again. That's no bueno. Berserkers of actually, there's no attack here. I forgot these guys aren't touching. That's next turn. I got excited about the Berserkers. I'm waiting to get them and the Immortals into the action. Not as bad as I'm waiting to get the Orcs in, but close enough. Alright, so now we've got Pikemen with a couple supports. We got leaders in this one too. It's a continuation battle. It's going to be ugly. The Pikes have a 1 stamina off, so they're going to be attacking with all 12. Re-rolling 1s. They've got a bazillion supports because they're attacking a cavalry unit. Their hero, it's what, a glitter blade or something like that, I think it is. I gotta look it up. Galen Shatter Sword. He'll throw in a mighty deed to pump up the volume on this attack. So they'll be attacking with 16, hitting on 5s and 6s, re-rolling 1s. Those Kaldani Pikemen score 5 hits. They have 3 1s to re-roll. Alright, Wilfred de Gore is going to go crazy. He's going to put in 2 mighty deeds. His cavalry already have 2 stamina loss. They're attacking with halves. They're attacking with 5 dice. They're going to be hitting on 5s and 6s. That's it. Wilfred's going to be throwing in, 5 dice himself. Yes, baby. Hitting on 4s, though. Puts in 4 hits. They're going to get 2 supports from Ulak. Ulak continues to support like a boss. Unfortunately, those 4 hits are going to destroy those knights. We can take off 2 more reputation points off the already beleaguered Tymordans. That sucks. Now for support for the Aurelians, they get 2 from being pikes. They get 2 from that pike unit, and they get 2 from the Immortals of Shubia, so they get 6. They also will lose a stamina point, but they will be victorious. Both leaders have 2 Raven dice worth of hits to take. They both take a wound. They're both going to spend their mighty deeds to try to decrease that wound, or not make it happen. What's left of Tymordan's retreat. He can't join with them. He's got to be by himself because he doesn't have that animal handler or beastmaster, whatever it's called, beastmaster trait. You can't join with a monstrosity unless you have that. So they're right there in their face. The Immortals of Shubia kind of rotated a little bit so they can pull off an insano charge against that light infantry. You won't stand a chance. The other Kaldani pikemen advanced, and these guys I got to put into the mass grave. All right, now we go into Aurelian movement. What a nightmare. Ah! And Morgoth's going to try to lead a charge down the hill into these knights. Which happens. He's going to get the charging and winning token on that. These gentlemen moved up kind of an angle. They're going to blast these dudes at point blank range with crossbows. That should be interesting. Let's see what else we got here. I think everybody else is basically engaged already. Except for this, we've got to do command rolls for these 4 guys to move into the trees. From Firebrand is going to use 2 mighty deeds to re-roll the light infantry and those gentlemen there that both failed that move into the trees. I think the Immortals have to charge. They got to do it. And mess in the trees over there. Oh gosh. Berserkers are going to try to charge these gentlemen. They're going to pass an evade move if they can. They flee to there. The Berserkers charge up as far as they can. They can't quite reach them. And yeah, that's just savage. Savage hand to hand all across the board. I really think this is going to be the last turn, but there's no way I'm not doing what I'm about to do. Just, I have to do it. I did time my move perfectly with the orcs and the goblins coming through the woods. I thought that was going to be phenomenal. I should have just rammed them right up the middle, but I thought coming through the woods would be kind of cool. But the orcs, I'm going to give them a free move, just because they're super psychotic. They're going to come flying in, and they're going to attack the flank. We're going to have a double whammy attack against these Aurelian spearmen. Good luck. God bless. Heard of Shark Week, but now it's Orc Week. Alright, orcs and goblins slamming into the side of these Aurelian footmen. Ryan Runehammer is going to spend a mighty deed to activate Today We Fight, adding an extra 1d6 dice. The orcs are big, they are brutal, and I think they're something else. They're insane. They are big, brutal, and fearsome. Oh yeah! Alright, so they're going to get 12 dice. They're charging, so they're winning. So they can reroll ones. They're big, so they're going to get 13 dice. They're brutal, they're going to hit on 4s. Ryan Runehammer is going to add in 1 dice for Today We Fight. He'll get an extra 1d6. He's going to throw in his other 2 mighty Ds. He's going to go suicide because it's probably the last turn anyway. Oh yeah. And then these guys are going to be secondary going in. They're going to add in 6. Plus they've got a leader. He'll throw in 2 more. So it's going to be insane. I'm going to break out my abacus and get this all figured out. I don't even know how many dice are in this cup. It's a lot. It's going to be like bolt action or chain of command like dice. The black and brown dice are going to be the orcs, and they're going to straight bring it. They're hitting on 4s, 5s, and 6s, re-rolling 1s. All the other dice are hitting on 5s and 6s, re-rolling 1s. Aurelians, oh, sorry, baby, you're about to get slaughtered. The Death Star blow for 20 hits. Oh, 3 ones to re-roll. Let's see what happens. Oh, they make up for it in a big way. 22 hits. That's savage. The pikemen are attacking back with half of their hits. They're going to be rolling 6. That's it. It's not pikemen, sorry. That's a medium footman with spear. Alright, the Eurylians get 1 hit. The Tymordans get 22. It's close. I'm not sure who's going to win this one. Support-wise, the Eurylians get... Well, they get no hill because they're getting slammed from the side. But they'll get 2 from the archers. They accomplish nothing. Oh, alright, so now let's see if these guys are getting supported from 3 groups of goblins and 1 group of archers. So, wow, 8. The Eurylian footmen have 2 stamina left. They have armor of 3, so 6 go away. 14 hits bleed over to these guys. They have stamina of 4 with 2. So both units are destroyed. Oh, wow. I don't think you're going to see that again, kids. So technically, the orcs and goblins have taken the town, their supplies. They're burning, they're chopping. Everybody in there is just getting murdered straight up. The Eurylians lose 4 reputation points out of their bag, so they still have some left to give. Basically, these gentlemen are going to fight against this hero down here. Magnus Eruptus is going to choose a warrior's death and fight these gentlemen to the end, and that will be game because they have 2 reputation tokens left in the bag. And if he wins this, that'll be amazing. But if he loses, they'll be at -3, and I don't know what happens there because the Tymordans achieved 1 goal, but basically their entire force has been annihilated. Both these heroes have 1 mighty deed left. They're going to throw them both in, and they're going to go down in a blaze of glory. Eurylian Knights attacking with 5 dice. Thunderous Charge. Their commander's going to throw in 1 more dice. He'll throw 4. Everything's brutal. Everything's thunderous. They're hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s. Maximus takes 5 hits. They have 2 ones to reroll. 7 hits on Big Daddy. My name is Maximus Decimus Murderitus. He's totally toast. Like 7 lances go right through his chest. He just gets trampled. But he swings Fang as he's going down. It's 1 hit as he gets ridden into the ground. The support from the light cavalry, they get 2 of them trying to block that attack. They stop it as he is just ridden through. There's a table on here what kind of warrior death you get. Let's see how it goes. Alright, hero death in combat. He's going to lose 5 anyway. Let's see how this goes. He has a famous death. So instead of losing 5, they lose 4 reputation. They only had 1 to give. So, or 2, sorry. And there they both are, and the bag is empty. And the Tymordans are pushed out of Sudbury. That was fun, man. Great game. I really enjoy it. It's brutal. It's fun. It kind of checks all the boxes. It doesn't take too long. Probably would have knocked it out even quicker if it wasn't so... I can't stay down here too long right now because it's so cold. But a great game. It was. I'd have to kind of cheat a little bit to get the orcs and goblins into combat, but that's all right. For the overall campaign, the Eurylians are able to defend Sudbury. They do take a bit of an emotional and a bit of a political hit because the orcs and goblins basically torture some settlers and burn a bunch of buildings down and then take off back into the woods. The rest of the Tymordan troops retreat across the border in a more orderly fashion. And over the next couple days, the Eurilians secure the province, and they are gathering their forces to move farther into Tymordan territory. We're going to be bringing up some spellcasters. We're going to be bringing in some more orcs the next fight. So it's going to be a good one. I am going to pause from Midgard for a second. I am going to do a chain of command game, go back to the Eastern Front. I'm also going to buy some Warlords 28mm US troops and start working on them for Bolt Action 3 and for chain of command. I have all these American tanks and everything else, so I can go back and forth between Russians fighting Germans and then US fighting Germans. So I have a little bit of variety in my World War II action. Alright, you guys are great. I hope you're having a great week. I'm taking Friday off. The wife and I are hopefully going to do something this weekend just to relax a little bit. And yeah, it should be good. I'll get back to the painting table after this and finish up a couple tanks that I've been wanting to do for a while. The biggest of which is going to be that Sturm Tiger. I got to try to find some rules in that thing, or I'll just be creative and make up rules for a 328mm rocket-propelled mortar. So that just sounds truly horrific. So we'll have some fun with it. All right, you guys are great. Take care, and hope you enjoyed it. And I appreciate you. See you guys. Bye.